We have reached the mid-month on PS Plus in January. And we have a very sparse, but I must admit, interesting group of games. It's sparse for sure, and I keep complaining that it keeps getting worse and worse, and it does keep getting worse and worse, but the selection of games is okay. If it wasn't okay, I'd be fully complaining this month. Let's get into it. Let's get into the list of games. You can see a couple of them on screen now, and you got this tagline here: Medieval and Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings launch on PS Plus Premium. Well, since they've done every possible medieval game and put it in PS Plus Premium, that can only mean one thing, but I don't want to spoil it yet. We'll get there. Be patient. You at home, be patient. Let's start with the headliner. They've added God of War Ragnarok to the service. If you do not have this game, it is a very good time for you to jump in, or at least jump in and play the first one, which is also on PS Plus Extra, and then you can jump into this. You can finish this Ragnarok arc in 2 games, which is good. They didn't extend it to the third one, and very nice, very nice. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. This is a kind of like a bridge game, much shorter bridge game between Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon 8 Infinite Wealth. So awesome to see it here. You have Atlas Fallen, Reigns of Sand. I've heard good things about this. This is like an action RPG and kind of like open world kind of game in the realms of like Forspoken and like open world type games like that. You have SD Gundam Battle Alliance, and I was reading here, I thought this was the PvP one, that's like the COD PvP one, but no, this is an action RPG, has a story, and also you have a multiplayer portion. You can play with up to 2 other players for a 3-person team. Interesting. I'm waiting for a full-scale, big-budget Gundam game. We never seem to get those. But yeah, we have Sayonara Wild Hearts. This is a wild game. We're going to bring up the trophy guide for this one. This game looks wild as hell. You have Anno Mutationem, another very cool game I was looking at. That's why I'm not really mixed about the selection of games. They all look pretty cool. Even I was looking here, Orcs Must Die 3. I think this is like a tower defense kind of game. And it looks fun as well. It actually looks fun. And I think this is hitting this because there's a new game coming out for Orcs Must Die. So that's good timing. Citizen Sleeper also looks very cool. A lot of these games are short too. So you won't take too much time to do them, but their art styles look fantastic, and they just looks like very fun indie games that you can play that don't take too long. And Poker Club, of course, we gotta throw some poker in there. Then we get down to the premium offering, and again, sparse, but some interesting picks. So you have here Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. It's saying this is a 2009 released PS2 game, so this is a PS2 classic. 2009? That's so late into the life cycle of the PS2. We had PS3 for 2 years at that point. I don't remember this game at all coming out, but that's because I think I had my PS3 at that point. And then finally, after releasing Medieval Remake, then the PSP classic Medieval Resurrection, then the original PS1 version of Medieval 1, they finally put out Medieval 2. They finally put out Medieval 2. I can finally play this game. Oh, I can't wait. I also can't wait to see what the trophies look like. I'm definitely going to do a video on it when they release the trophies next week. So easiest games, it's not quite clear what the easiest game is. I was looking at a couple of the trophy percentages to see how many people are like getting the platinums, and I think probably Anno Mutationem, but it is a 3 out of 10, so not quite an easy experience, although 3 can be easy. Hardest game, believe it or not, when I was looking at the trophies, is Poker Club. And apparently this game takes you over 100 hours to complete it as well. So then after that, you have Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is a difficult game to platinum, but it's not very long at all. So without further ado, I think we should get into the weeds and start looking at these trophy guides. So we're going to start with God of War Ragnarok. It's very simple to do, and it's exactly the same as the original God of War, and I have a full Platinum Hunters trophy guide for it, and I also have a Platinum Experience video for the Valhalla free DLC mode that you can download with it, that you access after you complete the game. So I have those 2 videos, check them out, they're on the channel. Or if you're going to play the first game, I have a video for that as well. So you're covered for these games. You're covered. But essentially, you're going to want to complete the story. There is nothing missable, so do not worry. You can complete it freely, and I actually think that's the best course of action. Just play and enjoy the story to the very end, and then you're going to come back for tons of collectibles. There are lots of collectibles, like you're going to want to find flowers from each of the 9 realms, artifacts, you're going to be getting all shields, all relics and sword hilts, you're going to be collecting ravens as well, and there is lots of stuff there. But the final thing that you have to worry about is the end game boss fights. Now you will have to fight all of the berserkers and then take on the main berserker, that's King Hrolf. So just like the Valkyrie fights, you have the berserker fights. They're each a little bit different. Some of them focus on different battle styles, like defensively, or some of them are attack based. Some of them do come in numbers, so you will fight a couple of them at a time. Some of them have different elemental powers, and then King Hrolf has all of everything that you fought before, and he is a pretty tough fight. I don't think he's as tough as the original last fight for God of War, the first one, but definitely for good measure, you're going to fight Gna, which is another Valkyrie fight. This is another one, and I think this one is harder than the last one. It was certainly a very tough fight, so you will fight another Valkyrie in this game. Get ready. But that's essentially God of War Ragnarok. It's very good game. So is the first one. Very good games. You should definitely check it out and download them if you haven't. It's time, especially if you have a subscription to Extra. It's time. This is immediately appealing to me to check out because in terms of Yakuza games, this looks like it's the shortest one to do. This looks like the absolute shortest. Like the only platinum that's like 25 hours of its kind. Usually the Yakuza games are like 80 plus hours to get the platinum. So and this kind of like, this isn't the RPG version. This takes on the action-based fighting of the original games. So you're lucky there. It's saying here you're going to want to progress the story until the finale, and then you're going to want to finish all the side content and defeat the last boss after that. You got a ton of your typical kind of like side missions. This game is full of side missions, even though it's shorter. At 25 hours, that's still way better than like the 150 hours that's Yakuza 0. And then after, you're going to do a couple of endgame things and clean up. you have a final chapter that you need to complete after you've done everything that you need to do. As far as Yakuza games go, lots of side content, but only a 25-hour amount of it. So this is a very short, small stopgap title that bridges the gap between the other titles. So if you want an entry point into the system to try it out and see if you're gonna enjoy it enough to go and take on some bigger Yakuza games, Like a Dragon Gaiden is certainly one that you're gonna wanna go in and try and see if you like it. I might check this out considering it's only 25 hours, and I've always wanted to play the Yakuza games. They're just very big games, and I like to platinum my games. 150 hours for Yakuza 0, 120 hours for Kiwami. I don't really have too many great endpoints into the series. Yakuza, even if I start with Yakuza 7, it's still, I think, in the realm of 80 hours. So not a ton of endpoints into the series that are like short and just to see if I like what I'm gonna play. This is one of them, so I'm happy about this. Okay, Sayonara Wild Hearts. If you haven't seen what this game is, you should probably look it up, or even come to the trophy guide and activate one of the videos here. This game is wild. It's wild. Wild Hearts. Wild. But essentially, the trophies all pertain to riddles, and they each have like different criteria to complete them, including getting rankings on certain mini games. I'm gonna call them mini games. That's what they essentially are. They're kind of like mini games for each level. It's not a very long game because you'll complete in an hour. You'll complete the game. And across 4 playthroughs of the game, according to this, you're going to do it in 8 hours. Approximately 8 hours. 5 out of 10 difficulty because you are trying to get gold ranks on every level and collect every square coin, which is a collectible. It kind of appears while you're playing the mini game. And all the trophies, they're all star signs A and B. Very interesting game. I wouldn't expect anything else. You have the all done platinum, which signifies this is an Annapurna game. All the Annapurna platinums all say all done. So you know it's going to be artsy, you know it's going to be out there, but I love Annapurna's games. This one looks interesting, especially considering it's only 8 hours. It's not much of an investment to get the platinum trophy. So maybe it's time to check it out. Maybe it's time to see. And then also looking very cool, although Metroidvanias are not really my kind of style, but you have Anno Mutationem, 3 out of 10, 15 hours, very good, very good. Nothing is missable, which is good. And you have trophies for completing the game, defeating a number of enemies. Then you have like a bunch of like kind of like milestone trophies, combine 15 items, read 30 documents, which is actually a collectible. You got mini games that you need to do, collect all posters, collect all Cyberneco Plus statues. So lots of mini games, lots of collectibles. Listen to 30 conversations, complete all side quests, and then I don't really want to go down. It's warning me here not to go down because there are spoilers. There is one difficulty related trophy, and that's pertaining to the bartending minigame. Complete the highest difficulty of bartending. It's probably the hardest thing here, other than like actually collecting everything. But this game is kind of like a Metroidvania side scroller kind of game. It looks cool. I do like the aesthetic, and I like the pixel art. And it looks pretty interesting. Maybe. See, this is what I mean. The games look pretty interesting, even though there's not that many of them for this update. Like, I wish there was more catalog like they had before, but they're actually doing a pretty good job of picking them. So this is an interesting one to check out at 15 hours. Again, not much of a commitment. There's not like too many long platinums in this update. So if I'm gonna rank these, for sure I'm gonna be checking out Medieval 2, definitely, and then I have to put Ragnarok on here, even though I've already beaten it. I have to put it as a recommendation here, and then I have Yakuza Gaiden as a recommendation here because I think it's a good entry point into the series that really eludes me because of how long some of these games are, but I think is very cool. I do really, really think the Yakuza series is cool. And then I could also add more to it. Anno Mutationem, Sayonara Wild Hearts, if you're looking for like more of a kind of like a indie inspired flair, you can get into those games. There's a lot here. There's quite amount of good stuff here, just not in abundance really. So you can be filtered out if you're not interested in any of these games. It could be like an update where nothing here for you, and you might feel a little jaded, and you might feel like, why am I paying for all this stuff? And really, like in terms of premium, if this is the cadence they're gonna do, just 2 games, I could just outright buy the game instead. The idea is you're gonna have premium, you get access to the full catalog, but if you've played everything you need to play, the amount you're paying from extra to premium, if you could just pay for the one thing you want, and then that's good enough. That's it. That's all you need. So you get to own the game rather than like giving it up when your premium license is done. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this. If you're getting your money's worth for these tiers, tell me if you have a good amount of games to play and you're getting your money's worth out of these tiers. Let me know down in the comment section, and let me know if you're not. I'm thinking of changing the way I talk about PS Plus Extra and Premium games and Platinums. I think I might just look at the essential games every month and then have a different type of video related to Extra and Premium. I'm still toiling away at it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to find a way to talk about the whole catalog as opposed to just what's new every month. I think I'm going to find the best Platinums as of, let's say we do it next month. As of February 2025, here are the best Platinums you can collect on the service, and here is when they're leaving the service, so you might want to get on it now and play them now. That kind of way I'm thinking about it. Stay tuned to the Platinum Experience to see if I end up changing the way this format is. But anyways, I hope all your Platinum trophy hunting expeditions in Norse lands with Norse gods go incredibly well, and peace out.